Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something really special, an advanced, highly requested feature. We are mastering the Citations API, so let's just get right into it. Okay, picture this. Your AI-powered support tool confidently tells a customer something that is absolutely, completely wrong. Panic sets in, right? But you know what the real nightmare is? That's when nobody on your team can figure out exactly where that hallucinated answer even came from. It's just an untraceable black box, and honestly, that's a massive pain point for enterprise developers. Well, that is exactly the problem Citation solves. When Claude answers a question based on your documents, this API hands you back the exact sentence it drew from, complete with a machine-readable pointer to exactly where it lives in your source material. It's a real game changer. So how do we actually pull this off? You might think it's a huge headache, but the structural solution is surprisingly simple. It's literally just a single parameter. You just add citations, enabled, true, to any document block you pass into the Messages API. That's the whole shebang. You don't have to write any crazy, complex prompt instructions. Claude automatically chunks the document internally and interleaves these neat, structured citation objects right throughout its response. Let's look at exactly what you get back. Each citation object is kind of like a little treasure map. It contains 4 distinct elements: the quoted text itself, a document index so you know which file it came from, the title, and, crucially, a precise location marker. And what's really cool is how this adapts perfectly to whatever file type you're using. Like if you look at plain text, it gives you a char location with the exact start and end character indices. Working with PDFs, it switches to a page location using standard 1-indexed page numbers. And if you're building with custom blocks, well, it returns a content block location that maps right back to your own custom array indices. It just works. Now, hold on, before we go any further, I need to flag a vital technical constraint. This is going to save you some major debugging headaches later. Citations and structured JSON outputs, they are mutually exclusive. Yep, if you try to pass both of those parameters in the exact same request, you're going to get slapped with a 400 error. So keep them separate, okay? Use citations when you need auditable text and structured outputs when you need a strict JSON schema. Okay, let's tie this all together with our core example. Imagine a product support team querying 2 different source files at the exact same time. Say, a plain text FAQ acting as document index 0 and a PDF product manual as document index 1. Now, a user comes along and asks a complex question that spans both of those documents. Look at how the parsed response comes back. The answer fragment about password resets carries a little badge pointing directly back to the FAQ, index 0, with the exact character range. And then the next fragment about security options. That points directly to the product manual, index 1, right on page 14. Your application just reads that document index and those location fields, and bam, it immediately knows which document, which passage, and exactly where to send the user to verify those facts. Which brings us to the key stat. And honestly, this crucial point comes down to a single beautiful number, 0. See, every citation object the API returns includes a field called cited text. That's the verbatim passage Claude pulled directly from your document. And the absolute best part? That exact cited text does not cost a single output token. Yep, 0 cost. You're getting granular, verifiable source attribution completely for free on top of the generated answer. How great is that? So when should you actually deploy this? Basically, you want to use citations whenever your application absolutely requires an auditable trace from the answer straight back to the source. We're talking high-stakes environments here: legal document review, deep financial analysis, rigid compliance workflows, or really any enterprise customer-facing tool where a wrong answer carries real consequences. Oh, and here is a massive pro tip for you. If you are querying those same documents repeatedly, just add cache control, type, ephemeral to your document blocks. The source content gets cached, which drastically cuts down both your latency and your costs on repeated calls. Basically, citations and prompt caching compose together beautifully. Now, if there is one profound architectural shift, like the main key takeaway you get from this explainer, it is this. Citations moves source attribution out of your prompt engineering and completely into the API response structure. I mean, think about that. You no longer have to waste your time writing complex extraction instructions or messy formatting rules in your system prompts. Actually, scratch that. You just don't have to prompt for it at all. Instead, you receive exact character ranges, precise page numbers, or custom block indices back as pure structured data. It arrives fully ready for your UI to render as inline footnotes, document highlights, or slick little sidebar references, effortlessly. Which leaves us with one final critical question. Is your application ready to definitively prove its answers? If you're a developer looking to completely eliminate hallucinations with hard, verifiable data, don't stop here. For the full chapter, complete with 3 fully worked examples and a deep dive into some common pitfalls, go master the API at claudemaster.net. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really look forward to seeing how you build undeniable trust right into your applications.